Star Trek came frighteningly close to disappearing long before it became a global phenomenon. In the mid-1960s, when television was still cautious and predictable, Star Trek broke every rule in the book. It dared to present a future where humanity had overcome war, racism, and greed, a vision that was far too optimistic for many network executives of the time. NBC found itself deeply uncomfortable with Gene Roddenberry's creation. To them, this wasn't just a science fiction adventure. It was a weekly moral lesson disguised as space exploration. Each episode tackled controversial issues like civil rights, war, and the balance of power, themes that mirrored real social tensions in America. But what truly unsettled the network wasn't the stories themselves, it was who was telling them. A racially mixed crew, including a black woman, an Asian helmsman, and even a Russian officer during the height of the Cold War, this was simply too much for television executives who preferred safe, formulaic entertainment. Behind the scenes, NBC executives constantly debated whether Star Trek should even continue. They argued that the ratings didn't justify the cost. The series' elaborate sets, futuristic props, and special effects made it one of the most expensive productions on television. Each episode pushed the technical limits of what 1960s TV could handle. Lighting, model ships, and the pioneering visual effects strained the budget, and every time costs rose, the threat of cancellation loomed larger. But the real clash wasn't about money. It was about vision. Roddenberry refused to water down his storytelling. He wanted television that challenged people to think, to question authority, and to imagine a better world. That level of ambition was rare, and for NBC, it was risky. As the second season began, the pressure intensified. The show's time slot was moved, its promotional support cut, and production demands increased while funding shrank. Cast and crew worked under immense stress, aware that each episode might be their last. Rumors circulated in Hollywood that the show was doomed. Some even said NBC was looking for an excuse to quietly cancel it without a public backlash. But then something unexpected happened. The fans fought back. Thousands of letters poured into the network from across the country. Teachers, scientists, students, and dreamers all begged NBC to keep Star Trek alive. It was one of the first organized fan movements in television history, and it caught the executives completely off guard. The outpouring of fan support bought the series one more season, a brief extension that kept the dream alive a little longer. Yet even then, the struggle didn't end. The show's final season was moved to a terrible Friday night slot, virtually ensuring low viewership. NBC seemed ready to let it die quietly, believing the show had served its time. But destiny had other plans. Reruns in syndication exposed the series to new audiences, sparking a passionate following that only grew stronger with time. By the early 1970s, Star Trek conventions began to appear, uniting fans who saw the show as more than entertainment. It was a philosophy, a symbol of progress and unity. Ironically, the same boldness that nearly killed Star Trek became its greatest strength. What NBC saw as too strange and too controversial turned out to be exactly what made it timeless. Roddenberry's dream of a united humanity survived its near-death experience and went on to inspire generations of writers, scientists, and explorers. The show that almost got canceled for being too visionary became a cornerstone of pop culture, a blueprint for future science fiction, and a reminder that sometimes the world just needs time to catch up with an idea that was light years ahead.